Monday Night Raw, the second Monday Night Raw after, the whole Elimination Chamber thing. We are still on the build towards WrestleMania, and we got some stories for you guys here tonight. And we'll have some stories heading into Tuesday's talk tomorrow, along with a technically official slash small portion of a Dynamite review tomorrow for that last episode of Dynamite that happened in Bridgeport, Connecticut, where I attended. But guys, we got some stories for you guys here tonight on Monday Night Raw. We are going to be doing a full review of Monday Night Raw tonight. And yeah, man, we're on the road to WrestleMania. We kind of just got back from everything. And, a lot of things happen on Raw that kind of, can bleed into things for WrestleMania. So let's get talking. Let's talk Monday Night Raw for Monday, February 28th, 2022. I'll talk to you guys while I'm in there. What is going on, guys? Thank you so much for joining us right here on Outside the Brand. This is your Monday Night Raw post-show review for February 28th, 2022. I'm your host, Phil, and of course, this is Outside the Brand. Thank you guys so much for joining us here on your Monday night, wherever you may be. And yeah, I got my boy Loft here. We're going to be talking about Monday Night Raw tonight. We have some things bleeding over into WrestleMania this year. And yeah, man, it's shaping up to be a WrestleMania, that's for sure. Whether that's going to be a good one or a bad one or an indifferent one, that remains to be seen. But WrestleMania is here, and we are continuing on that road to the biggest stage of them all, known as WrestleMania 38 in Dallas, Texas. Loft will be here in just a little bit. But yeah, guys, I want to seriously, in all seriousness here, thank you guys so much for joining us right here on Outside the Brand. Things are fast and heavy when it comes to WrestleMania, and we are going to be continuing on this journey towards WrestleMania. We got some stories for you guys here tonight for the show, and he's probably still dancing. We got some stories for you guys here tonight on Monday Night Raw. We got an Undertaker story. We got a Vince McMahon story. And, of course, title unification. Is it actually happening? Is it not actually happening? We got those stories to cover right here on the podcast tonight, along with your entire full Monday Night Raw post-show review. Yeah, man, it's going to be a fun time. We're going to be talking about that Edge heel turn in just a little bit. But yeah, we're here. We're going to be talking about the entirety of Monday Night Raw, these three stories, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. Once Loft gets back and he can talk things out with all of us, we're going to be right here talking about everything on the show tonight. But so that we can give Loft more time to return to us, I do want to thank you guys so much for joining us right here on Outside the Brand. We love that you guys show up here each and every single time. We want you guys to follow us on all social medias. All of the TikTok links are down in the description below. Follow me on social media at @FilmingMatt_. That is on Twitter and Instagram. If you missed anything on the channel over the last week, you guys can go check that out. It's all on the homepage of the channel. I want you guys to go get your t-shirts, man. Bonfire.com is the exclusive home of Outside the Brand and its merchandise. You guys can go check out some t-shirts. You guys can check out some hoodies. We got face masks. This pandemic is still a thing. And we also got coffee mugs for your coffee lovers out there. So we got all of those waiting for you on bonfire.com, the exclusive home of Outside the Brand and its merchandise. If you guys want to just get some merch, you guys can go do that right now. We got some story, guys. We got some stories for you guys here tonight, and it's going to be a lot of fun to talk about. Just gotta wait until we have somebody to talk these stories out with. We love that you guys are here each and every single night, and we will continue to entertain you guys for as long as we possibly can. For the like goal tonight, we want you guys to get the stream to 10 likes minimum for the stream tonight here on Outside the Brand. 10 likes minimum for the stream tonight. All right, guys, we are going to be doing these stories for you guys tonight. Like I said, we got 3 of them. We got 3 stories for you guys here tonight. We got WWE not going to have The Undertaker be the only inductee into this year's WWE Hall of Fame. We got a story of Vince McMahon and his plans to wrestle at WrestleMania, and WWE plans on keeping 2 separate championships after a unification match at WrestleMania. Those are the 3 stories that we got for you guys here tonight. We're going to be talking about The Undertaker and the WrestleMania and the WWE Hall of Fame, rather, first, as soon as we get locked right back in here. This is going to be a very fun episode of Outside the Brain, guys. You guys are not going to want to miss a single second of it. We love that you guys are here. Let's get this to 10 likes minimum on the stream tonight. Thank you so much, Josh. But, yeah, man. We're going to have a lot of fun. What up, Loft? We are here. And we're going to get right into these stories. First of all, just before we get into these stories, overall thoughts on Monday Night Raw tonight before we get on into everything that we got.
It was a regular episode until the last 45 minutes. Then it got really great. The last 45 minutes saved this show, because if not for that, it would have just been a regular old boring episode of Raw. I was very annoyed by Chad Gable and Otis before. They are very entertaining to me now. I don't know what really switched.
Chad Gable's killing it, man. He's killing this role.
My whole freaking chat was saying "shoosh," and no, thank you. We were saying that the whole night, so I don't know.
Thank you.
I don't know why that's like so good now, but it's catchy. I don't know what it is, but
he's killing it, man. I think Chad. I think Gable finally found like his role within this company. If you get what I mean, he's really taken this role of being like a 4.0 scholar and run with it. Like,
I hated it at first.
I wouldn't say this is like the best work of his career, but it's definitely up there. Because I mean, everything about American Alpha was great when he was teaming up with, Jason Jordan and everything like that.
Yeah.
But with him being with Otis and with the caliber of wrestling talent that Chad Gable is, Gable's rubbing that off onto Otis, and Otis is even becoming better because of it.
Yeah.
So it just works perfectly, and the marriage between those two, and especially with the gimmick that they got going on, it just works, and I'm loving every single second that they're doing with those characters. But yeah, I mean, it just works, and I love it. But yeah, man, it's Monday Night Raw. We're still heading on to the road to WrestleMania, and it's going to be a thing, whether we want to believe it or not. Whether it's going to be a good one, a bad one, or indifferent, we won't know until we actually get to the shows. We got 3 stories tonight, man. WWE is not going to have The Undertaker be the only inductee into this year's Hall of Fame, which I find not. Listen, you know me and my stance towards The Undertaker in the Hall of Fame. He should be the only one there, but we got some stories for you tonight when it comes to that specific story. So we are going to get right into it. Let me find the actual article. That's Elias. My bad. I should have actually organized this more. Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. So I gotta minimize all these now. Okay, so according to WrestleVotes on Twitter, WrestleVotes is a very, very reliable source on Twitter when it comes to rumors or speculations or anything of that nature. They tweeted that The Undertaker will not be the only inductee into this year's WWE Hall of Fame. And I quote, although the idea of the fact was in fact considered, I'm told The Undertaker will not be a solo inductee at this year's Hall of Fame. Sources expect additional names will be announced soon. Potentially tonight on Monday Night Raw is when it's going to start. Did they announce anything?
Don't think so.
For Hall of Fame purposes, no? Okay. So it didn't start tonight, but apparently more names will be inducted into this year's Hall of Fame. And now, starting tomorrow, end quote, is when whoever runs WrestleVotes, they pretty much announced that more people will be inducted into the Hall of Fame this year besides The Undertaker. Mm-hmm. Now, I've been in favor of Undertaker only being the only one to be in this year's Hall of Fame. I think whenever we've seen people talk about it on TikTok, I think they're obviously in favor of that as well. I don't know if you even really spoke about this or not, but what were your thoughts on having the Undertaker being the only person in this year's Hall of Fame? Were you for it or against it?
I don't have a reason to be against it. I think he is the greatest wrestler damn near of all time. So if they had a decision to make this like only him, I would definitely go through with it because you can definitely make a 2-3 hour ceremony around just the Undertaker, and I wouldn't have an issue with that. I'm not a big person who watches the Hall of Fame, but right. I definitely would tune in for that just to like see how they do with that. And I think that would be the best solution.
Right. Now, I usually don't watch the Hall of Fame either. I'm like when it comes to the main inductee, let's say, like the big person that comes on last, like the main event inductee. If it's somebody good, I'll watch that speech because obviously that speech is more important. That's why they put it on last. But if The Undertaker was the solo act in the Hall of Fame this year, I'd watch the entire thing just based on who's going to be going up there to talk about some stories that we haven't heard in a very long time. What's The Undertaker going to say?
Yeah.
You can legitimately make a 2 hour or 1 hour, depending on how long the actual Hall of Fame is. You can make it just about The Undertaker and expand it throughout his entire 30-plus year career.
Pretty much.
The Undertaker is the greatest, I'll say one of the greatest creations made by Vince McMahon, obviously, other than WrestleMania. But, like, you can build something around that. Remember when The Undertaker made technically his official retirement speech in front of television screens in front of the Thunderdome? To me, that was terrible. That was a terrible send-off for the man because they built that entire Survivor Series around the 30 years of Undertaker and him saying goodbye. And to me, that just felt very disingenuous. It just did not come off right. And they did not give a proper send-off to the dead man. With him being a part of the Hall of Fame and him being the only inductee into this year's Hall of Fame, I feel like that would be a perfect send-off because you give him that hour or two to talk and to give thanks to the fans for supporting him all these 30-plus years.
That's the one thing I'm afraid of, though, because I'm like, I don't even know who they would have to induct him in. I think it should be Kane, but I mean, it's just
I would give it to multiple people, man. I wouldn't just give it to one because there are so many people that The Undertaker has affected through his 30 years.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true.
You can give it to Kane, Shawn Michaels even because of his matches at WrestleMania. Yes. Mick Foley, who I believe is one of, if not the greatest rival of The Undertaker. I know this would never happen, but who introduced The Undertaker to all of us all the way back then? Bruce Pritchard.
Oh God, please no.
I would never want that. Trust me, I would never want Bruce Pritchard on my television screen. But still, he's been thrown out there. If Paul Bearer was alive, may he rest in peace. If Paul Bearer was alive, he'd obviously be the first choice.
Yeah.
But it would just give him a proper send-off if he was just the only inductee this year. And it gives the Hall of Fame more importance if it's just one inductee this year. Because let's face it, the Hall of Fame isn't really all that important for like the actual show purpose of it.
That's facts. I mean, I think I haven't watched it in I don't know how long. So it's just like
it just gives it more importance if it's just one person.
Yeah.
And just for me personally, I'd be watching it just for The Undertaker alone if he was just the only inductee. There will never be somebody like The Undertaker again, ever.
Yeah.
Especially with the longevity of his career, especially with the way that The Undertaker continued to evolve the character. Mark Calloway, the man behind The Undertaker, continued to evolve The Undertaker in ways we never thought was honestly possible.
Yeah.
And he should be celebrated in that honor of being the only man in the WWE Hall of Fame. It would be a beautiful thing, and that's what I want. If it's not, though, I honestly don't know who else you'd even put in. And if you even do put people in, nobody's going to watch it until The Undertaker comes on. Nobody.
Yes.
Because The Undertaker's the only thing that would actually be relevant for this class.
Unless someone like insane retires like soon, then you have that like I don't know.
I don't know, man. WWE should really consider it. I know only having one person in the Hall of Fame seems kind of illogical to them, but it would give it more importance. It would give Mark Calloway that proper send-off for The Undertaker, and it would just work. It really would. But again, guys, that's just me. Loth, I feel you're kind of in agreement, but you guys let me know in the comments of the live chat and even in the comments after the video is published what you guys think about the WWE potentially not only having The Undertaker be a part of the Hall of Fame, but other people as well. And name some people who you'd even put in the Hall of Fame with The Undertaker as well. Okay, let's move on to the second story here, as we have some news on Vince McMahon, and we all know his involvement in WrestleMania this year, potentially being in a WrestleMania match. WWE is planning to have smoke and mirrors for Vince McMahon's match at WrestleMania, and I'm not talking about Cody Rhodes.
Boo. No.
Trust me. There's something more about this.
God.
The news about Vince McMahon returning to the ring at WrestleMania had a lot of people wondering why the 76-year-old man would risk his health and by taking bumps after so many years without being inside the wrestling ring. It turns out that Vince will take very little bumps, if any, while he takes on Pat McAfee in Dallas, Texas. Dave Meltzer reported today on F4WOnline.com that it will be a smoke and mirrors match.
Whoa.
Wow. Basically, expect to see things happening around the match. This would most likely mean that there would be interference with someone else taking bumps for Vince. This would be similar to the way that they did Bret Hart's match against Vince McMahon at WrestleMania in 2010. And we all know how that fucking went. That was terrible. That I would never want to experience something like that ever again. That match of Bret and Vince in 2010 was terrible. Yeah. It would make the most logical sense to have Austin Theory get involved because of his storyline with Vince McMahon at the moment. With him taking the bumps instead of Vince, that would probably make the most logical sense. Meltzer noted that WWE is doing some out-of-the-box things more than usual this year because they have more than 20,000 unsold tickets for both nights. Now, I heard it was 50,000. I heard it was 50,000 unsold tickets for both nights at WrestleMania. But apparently here in this article by Wrestling News.co, it's 20. In addition to McMahon and McAfee, there's also plans of having Stone Cold Steve Austin return in a match with Kevin Owens. And we all know that. As well as many other celebrity involvements in this year's WWE WrestleMania event in Dallas, Texas. They have to fill 100,000 seats, right, for both nights, right? So you got to get Vince in there. You got to get Pat McAfee. You got to get Logan Paul. You got to get who else is there? Johnny Knoxville. You got to get everybody in there, right? Everybody there. So they're trying to fill 100,000 seats times 2 in Dallas, Texas. This is fucking embarrassing. This is embarrassing. Pat McAfee does not deserve this type of embarrassment.
At all. At least Vince isn't taking bumps. At least that's one solace because it takes one bad bump for him to go down. And the first thing I thought of was when Goldberg damn near killed Undertaker at what was that, Crown Jewel or whatever.
Yeah, one of the Saudi shows.
Yeah. That I please, Vince, do not take any bumps. Don't take any. I don't care if it's a power slam or punt. Don't take anything, please. You are 76 years old. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. We all know you're tough. Please don't.
We all know you're raw.
Yeah, we all know you're raw. Don't get yourself hurt, please. Because it's not going to be a good show. It's going to ruin the whole. It's going to dampen the whole show.
Yeah.
It's going to make everything just real sad because we just watched a 76-year-old man get hurt. Please no. No one asked for this. Please don't. Please.
Now, we all know that Vince will be on the Pat McAfee show this Thursday. And for those who are actually wondering if I'm actually going to be watching that, I will, just mainly because how often do we see Vince have these type of interviews like this? But this will most likely be the catalyst to serve purpose to make the build happen for their WrestleMania match. Adam Cole did the exact same thing for their NXT TakeOver match and their NXT program between Adam Cole and Pat McAfee. Now, to be completely honest, guys, I love Pat. Pat's great. He's great on commentary. He's genuine. And the thing is, it's because he's just like you and me.
Yeah.
He's a pro wrestling fan at its finest. And he gets to live his dream sitting next to Michael Cole every single Friday night getting to call the action.
Yeah.
And it's great to see. Plus, he's entertaining as all hell. He's an entertaining guy.
Yeah, he is.
He makes the show. He makes me watch SmackDown, honestly, at some points, even if it's not even Roman Reigns, because of just the way Pat McAfee comes off on the microphone in that commentary booth with Michael Cole.
The best commentary they got right now.
Yeah. Honestly, when it comes to color-wise, definitely, for sure. Play-by-play, whether you're talking about either Jimmy Smith or Michael Cole, to me, that would obviously be Michael Cole. I'm sorry, Jimmy. But yeah, I mean, if you're doing color commentary, it's either between Pat and Corey. I think Corey's great at what he does. Not a lot of people do, but I think Corey is great at what he does at times. Not just obviously for play-by-play reasons. That's obviously Michael Cole for me because I've been watching him ever since I started watching in 2010, technically 2009. But yeah, Pat McAfee, he even addressed this on Twitter. I don't know if you saw this, but he even addressed this on Twitter. He said, quote, "You all seem to know a lot more about what I'm doing than me. I'm excited to see what happens at this point as well. WrestleMania chatter is wild right now. And just a reminder, if you think I'm gonna be a part of something that isn't a banger, you're out of your goddamn mind. End quote.
That was the man.
If you're legitimately going into a match against Vince McMahon at WrestleMania, I wouldn't really call it a banger, but as long as Vince just does not take bumps at the age of 76 years old,
yeah,
that's all I'm really worried about at this point. I don't care that Pat's really in the ring, because Pat showed us at NXT TakeOver that he can honestly do great things in the ring. So I'm fine with Pat. And for those of you that are actually probably going to call me hypocrite or whatever, me being happy about Pat McAfee and me not being happy about Johnny Knoxville, go fuck yourself, because that's not even the same thing.
At all.
Exactly. So, point is, I think this. Well, first of all, I think Vince McMahon should not even be fucking here to begin with when it comes to actually having a WrestleMania match. But if it happens, it happens, and we're gonna see Pat McAfee. What even happens? Who goes over? What?
You think this is gonna lose?
That's what I'm saying. Like, Pat's gonna lose for this? Yes. Like, what?
This is not losing. I'll be very surprised if you lost.
And the thing is, there's got to be some kind of fucking stipulation or something on the line here. They can't just have Pat versus Vince just for nothing. What's on the line?
Got to be something. I can't imagine what they'll be mad about, but please be something.
Oh, and by the way, dude, it's not going to be via satellite.
Oh, God.
It's not going to be via satellite. He's going to be showing up in studio.
Oh, that's going to be great. I kind of want to see that now.
It's going to be the exact same way that Adam Cole did it. He was in studio, and he got mad, and that's how they build their thing. It's going to be in studio.
That might be actually great.
That's why I'm going to watch, because how often do you see that?
Yeah, I'm excited.
So So it's happening. Pat McAfee versus Vince McMahon is happening. We just got to figure out what the hell this is going to start from. And now, guys, the big one. The big one we see for you guys here tonight. WWE plans to keep 2 separate brand championships after their unification match at WrestleMania. Now, how does that work? Be prepared. You're going to find out. Because as soon as I get this story up here, you guys are probably going to be just flabbergasted as to what I even just read to you. Because this legitimately makes no sense. Last Friday, when WWE announced the Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar match would be a unification match, which at first was actually not the case, when everything kind of like just popped up after the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. They said it was just title for title, and that's it. They announced on Friday it would be a unification match. They announced it like 17 times in the matter of 2 hours. But they announced that it was going to be a unification match, and we had a contract signing for that night. It seems as if that meant that we were going to have just one champion coming out of WrestleMania and have that one man go across between Raw and SmackDown. Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Get ready. This is not the case, as the plan is to still continue to have both brands championships. Dave Meltzer said on Wrestling Observer Radio today that WWE feels that this is not feasible to have one champion because they need to appease NBC Universal, who is obviously USA and Peacock, and Fox. Meltzer then continued, quote, "The deal here is that it is a unification match. And from what I am told, it is the same idea as the last time they unified the titles. Remember, like 20 years ago, 18 years ago, when they did, and then like a week later, they just handed a belt to Triple H. Hopefully, they don't do that this year, or pretty much here. If let's actually take it to this century. Let's say 20 to 18 years ago. Remember how they did the triple threat for both Raw and SmackDown Women's Championships?
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're going to treat this as.
Then wouldn't that? Well,
that's not a unification match.
Yeah,
that's not.
Because I'm trying to think now, because that wouldn't be, that would just be both belts just happen to be on the line.
Exactly. That it's not a unification match at that point.
But how do you separate them then?
Like, now, they're not. That's what they're planning to. They're not planning to separate them. So he continued on to say, I was told it's not feasible for the modern environment to have each brand, have one champion for each brand, considering the two networks. They need to have a champion. This will be a unification match, and they will not forget about it, but there will be two champions. End quote. Lesnar or Reigns will walk out of WrestleMania with both the WWE and Universal Heavyweight Championships. At this point, there is no word on how they will create a new title for the brand being left without a champion. Now, here's the thing. This is not a unification match if they're going to go down this way, because a unification means one champion.
Yeah.
Now, to me, when it comes to a unification match, one champion for both Raw and SmackDown. That's how it should go. That's how it should go. And the thing is, when it all comes down to it, one champion to reign between both shows, that's just how it's supposed to be. SmackDown is gone over right now. Raw, I don't even know what to call Monday Night Raw. I don't even know if it's good. I don't even know if it's bad. I wouldn't even know what to call it. But WWE just has nobody left for Roman or Brock at that point. If Roman beats Brock, who's next? Drew McIntyre? And what happens if he beats Drew? Nobody's left. What happened if Brock wins? And Brock goes, he either ups and leaves for 6 months till SummerSlam, or he sticks around and he just squashes everybody else, just like Roman has. This is not good. If Drew beat Roman, let's say, who's next? You've legitimately built nobody on Raw or SmackDown.
Yeah.
Merge the rosters. Merge the singles division, merge the tag division, and merge the women's division. In the year 2022, we do not need a fucking brand split, especially with over 200 people gone from WWE over the last, I'll say 3 years. I'll say 3 because 2019. Merge the fucking rosters. I'm done with this shit. A secondary world champion, especially if you're going to have to compete with Roman Reigns or Brock Lesnar, that champion, that secondary world champion, is not going to look good, or at least be looked at as a world champion if they're standing next to Roman or Brock. And I'll name you one example for that. And this is no disrespect for that man, and this is no disrespect to any of his fans. Biggie. Biggie did not look like a world champion standing next to Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Now, that was obviously because of the way they treated his championship reign, but my point still stands. He did not look like a world champion standing next to a man in Roman Reigns. He didn't.
Freaking sucks.
Now, here's what people, and I was watching JD's stream earlier on today about when he got to this story, and he made a very good point when it comes to having one world champion in this company. It can honestly give meaning to other championships as well, and I don't think a lot of people realize that.
What do you mean by that?
And here's how I mean by that. You have one world champion. Not everybody can be going after that one world champion at that time, but you can have big names go after an Intercontinental champion, a United States champion. Let's say Randy Orton is out of this tag team with Riddle. You can have Randy Orton go for the Intercontinental title, or go after the United States champion and now Finn Balor. You can have big caliber matches for those singles championships and make those championships more important just by the names that are going to be associated with that championship alone. Not everybody can be a world champion, or at least be in the top of that story for a world championship. So you can have these other championships mean something more if you have just this one championship, because now there's not two world champions and not two world championship divisions to fight after.
Yeah.
Now, I was just using Randy Orton as an example, but let's say something like in your profile picture, Edge. You want to see like an Edge versus a Finn Balor match for the United States title? That would be great. And that would give the United States Championship match more importance. Or at least that title. Yeah. It's just something to think about. Now when I heard him say that, I was like, I didn't even really think of it in that way, but that honestly makes a lot more sense now. But it just gives those championships more importance as well, because there's not everybody can go after the world champion. So you have all these big names out there that aren't doing anything. You can easily slot them in there. Another thing that kind of, rattled me in this, in that article, and I kind of want to get your thoughts on all of this too. The fact that WWE has to appease to both of the networks is ridiculous.
That's the freaking that's the deals they sign, man. Those are the deals they sign. They gotta, for some reason, they have to please everyone, which doesn't make much sense to me, because I feel like that is at the expense of the actual quality of the show.
Exactly. And thank you. Those were the exact words I was about to say. Plus, they really don't know shit about professional wrestling.
Yeah.
They don't know jack shit. Now, I don't need fucking NBC, Universal, and Fox to book my professional wrestling show. I don't. I'm gonna let myself do that, or I'm gonna let the actual company be the ones to do that, even if they don't even know how to run their own company.
Yeah.
Like, and this is fucking terrifying, and I'm even saying this, but I'd rather trust those schmucks in Stamford, Connecticut, and that writing team than I'd rather trust NBC, Universal, and Fox. Fuck the networks. Like, you don't need to please. You're obviously not pleasing us. So why? So what's the? I just found that ridiculous when I read that for the first time. I really did.
That doesn't make much sense at all.
Now, like JD said in his video, I believe he believes that there's like two possible scenarios that can happen here, and I honestly kind of feel the exact same way. There's two possible scenarios here when it comes to all of that. Let's say if Roman loses, okay?
Yeah.
And first of all, I don't think he should lose, but I unless they legitimately have the balls to build someone up to actually beat him. But like, listen, that just does not happen. If Roman wins both championships, and like this report says, if he's actually the Raw champion and the SmackDown champion, and it's not even really unified, I think what WWE is trying to do here is they're trying to do a major fucking cop-out. They're trying to do a major cop-out in a way to have, all right, well, let's say if we have AJ Styles, for example, let's say if we have AJ Styles beat Roman for the Universal Championship, he'll still look strong by default because he still has one championship. That doesn't make him look strong.
I don't know about that one.
That does not make him look strong. You still had him lose.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying he'd be buried, but like that's not making him look strong by any means. Did Becky look strong when she lost the Raw or SmackDown Women's Championship? I forget which one she lost first. No, because
yeah, I don't know this shit. That's kind of weird.
No, like you're not gonna look strong if somebody beats him for one championship and not both. It doesn't work that way. Now, the next scenario, and I feel like this is highly unlikely as well, like JD said, but let's say Roman wins both championships. He goes to Friday Night SmackDown. I even mentioned this in a TikTok. He goes to Friday Night SmackDown, and he retires the Universal Championship. That's only holding the WWE Championship because he is going to go down as probably the greatest Universal Champion in that belt's history. So he retires that championship, and he's only holding the WWE Championship. That means he'll go to Monday Night Raw, and he'll be that champion, right?
Mm-hmm.
WWE on SmackDown, that next night or whatever, they reintroduce Big Goldie.
Oh, God.
They reintroduce Big Goldie. Big Goldie's back. The World Heavyweight Championship is back. And they can obviously make some obvious compelling storylines here if we can have a World Championship tournament or something of that nature that can culminate as a big pay-per-view or somewhere, shape, or form. And it can make compelling television because of that. Hell, you can even have Cody Rhodes be a part of this entire thing too, and his build towards a world championship, which he never got to WWE. Now, obviously, that's just fancy booking, and that's obviously most likely not even going to be happening or the case. But if you brought Big Goldie back and you actually had him retire the Universal Championship just to have him hold the WWE title on Raw and have him be called it really wouldn't be Unification at that point either, but you get where I'm going with that. Obviously that's not happening, but you get where I was going.
Yeah.
I'm just going to leave it with this. If it's not going to be a unification match at WrestleMania after all, and we're still going to have technically two champions, but one person holding the belt, what's the fucking point of having the unification match anyway? If it's just going to be the exact same way that they did with the women's championships a couple of years ago, or a few years ago, I should say. There's no point.
Yeah. I don't get it at all.
But yeah, the brand split should not be a thing in the year 2022, especially with the way things have been going downhill for WWE since 2019, I'll say, with all the releases and everything. And trust me, we have some storylines for you guys tomorrow. Two people I fully believe are probably going to be released in the next wave of budget cuts, but we'll talk about those. We'll talk about those tomorrow. along with a kind of short review of the Dynamite that happened in Bridgeport and some WWE 2K22 news as well, because that we're just about a week away until that game comes out. But yeah, guys, we're going to be talking about Monday Night Raw tonight. That's all the stories we have for you guys tonight. Let me know which story you guys were most interested in the comments below. What your thoughts are on all of those stories as we get ready to review Monday Night Raw tonight from February 28th, 2022. I was just looking down at the clock and the date on my computer, and it reads March 1st. So happy March Day, everybody. But yeah, it's February 28th, 2022. That's the Raw we are going to be reviewing tonight. From what I heard, this was, and especially with what Loft said, this was just your normal Monday Night Raw up until the last 45 minutes. We had a United States Championship match tonight. We had Edge proclaim his WrestleMania challenge. Other than that, I really feel like there was most likely nothing to happen on the show. It was either probably rematches or just people that were involved in rematches but were just placed together in either 6-man or woman or just random tag team matches to kind of fill the show, right? Am I kind of getting that right?
For the most part, I mean, the 6-woman tag, Liv, Bianca, and Rhea had a match against Becky, Doudrop, and Nikki.
By the way, I heard those hair whips from here in Connecticut.
Oh my God. That was what I was during the match. I'm like, can she please hit her with the braid at WrestleMania? I didn't know she was gonna do it tonight. That's louder than the WrestleMania one. That first one was like crack. I was like, oh my God. Oh, I love her so much.
I heard those slaps from here in Connecticut.
If she loses at WrestleMania, I'm done.
I'm done.
She's great.
Those are great.
Taking those shots though. Oh my God.
Yeah. I'll give Becky props for that, because taking a hair whip from Bianca Belair like that fucking takes guts. And I, when I was at a WrestleMania watch along, last year when Bianca and Sasha were doing it, when everybody was surrounded at TV and Bianca did the exact same thing to Sasha, we all just cringed in absolute, not disgust, but we were just cringing because, man, that fucking sucks.
That was a spot to take. Goodness gracious.
But yeah, we started off the show tonight with a KO show, and it started off with what seems to be, was it the Alpha Academy?
Yep.
Okay. So so Owens welcomes us to the show, and they say that they haven't been it hasn't been a good year for him and Rollins as of yet. They are the two biggest stars in the history of WWE, and neither of them are booked in a match at WrestleMania. Rollins agrees and says they've been screwed over and over again, but they have one last hand to be dealt. All they have to do is win the Raw Tag Team Championships next week, and they will have a path at WrestleMania. I did not even know they had a Raw Tag Team title. Oh wait, no, I did know they had a Raw Tag Team title match next week.
Yeah,
I did because of last week's episode.
Yeah.
Owens then says he's heard people say his hatred for Texas will distract him, but nothing will distract him from winning the tag titles next week. He says not even Texas legends like JBL, Shawn Michaels, or even a dumb hat he's wearing. Okay, sorry.
Who's wearing a hat?
Okay.
Get a hat on.
Which she then takes off and jumps on. Okay, so he jumped on that. Rollins then laughs before introducing their guest tonight, the Raw Tag Team Champions, American. Saying American Alpha. My bad. Alpha Academy. I wish it was American Alpha. Fucking. Where are you, Jordan? Please, I want you back. Just the only team with Chad, please. I do not want the Kurt Angle storyline back again.
Oh, please, God.
Gable then thanks them for leaving him, for letting him be on the show for the first time ever. Owens then tells Gable that he says thank you very strangely.
Thank you.
Thank you. Gable then says that he's heard tonight a couple of asses making assumptions about their tag title match next week. He says that KO and Rollins weaseled their way into a title match, and they explained how all the idiots in the crowd who went to Ohio State University. Gable then says that the two of them are bitching about not having a match at WrestleMania, but both of them have been in multiple times. Neither he nor Otis have had matches on the big show. Rollins then said that Alpha Academy can face him and Owens at WrestleMania after they win the tag team titles next week. Gable then gets angry and tells him to shush. Owens doesn't like that, and it leads to Gable and Owens both yelling shush at each other repeatedly. Then Owens hits Gable with a stunner. Otis is ready to throw down as we head to commercial break. And it looks like we have the tag team title match early, but it's just a non-title. It's American Alpha versus KO and Seth Rollins. From what I heard, this was not bad, though.
Alpha Academy. You said American Alpha again.
I said American Alpha again. Shit. Okay. But from what I heard, though, this match is honestly not that bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. Not bad at all. I think it didn't need to happen. I think the finish was done because I don't think the champion should be losing on weekly shows in any scenario. But wasn't a bad match at all.
Why do I keep saying American Alpha? I keep talking about Jason Jordan. That's what I get. But Rollins hits a suicide dive to Otis on the outside. That'd be crazy if he hit a suicide dive on the inside. That'd be weird. I don't even know how that would be possible. Meanwhile, Gable then counters the stunner into a nasty German suplex receipt. They say receipt. Did something kind of hit stiff in the match?
A few times. I can't really remember. Like, what part of the match are they talking about? Because I'm trying to.
This is kind of like the ending sequence.
Not that I can remember.
Okay.
Not that I can remember.
Because it says a German suplex receipt, and usually a receipt happens when something happens stiff.
KO took the back of his head hit pretty hard. Now I think about it. That German suplex did look a little bit. He took one earlier in the match. He took another one, and it was his neck like scrunched up. It looked pretty bad. It looked definitely pretty bad.
Okay, because it says a German suplex receipt, so usually a receipt happens when something happens stiff, when it honestly was either not supposed to, or just people get caught up in the moment and something happens. Gable then drags KO over to the corner and goes up top for a moonsault, but Owens avoids it and tags Rollins. Seth then hits a buckle bomb, followed by Owens finally hitting a stunner, and Rollins ends it with the stomp for the win. I love that that's their fucking finisher.
It was so well done. Everything was beautifully timed.
A buckle bomb into a stunner into a goddamn stomp is beautiful every time. I love that that's their finisher. And it just works so fluidly. It's a fluid motion. It's great.
It was very good.
Guys, it's time for the call. You know what time it is, Loft, when it's time for the call.
Oh god.
Omos!
Oh god.
Omos is backstage, and he says that he's dominated everyone that he's come across with in WWE so far. Orton, Riddle, Styles, etc. Tonight, he faces the biggest man he's been in the ring with, and he is going to dominate him too. T-Bone's back.
T-Bone. T-Bone.
I didn't know T-Bone was back.
T-Bone versus Omos.
Is T-Bar versus Owens. Yeah, this was probably a squash match.
Damn near. Damn near. I mean, wasn't a real remembering one. I'm not gonna remember this one 10 years later, but I think got out.
All I can say is fucking Dominik Dijakovic deserves way better.
Yeah.
The bell rings and Dominik Dijakovic. I'm gonna call him that. I'm not calling him fucking T-Bar or T-Bag or fucking whatever. He avoids the splash in the corner. Omos then catches him with a running clothesline, probably fucking decapitates him. Then a choke bomb, and he wins. It's a chokeslam bomb for the win.
Just like that.
Okay, so then we had Doudrop and Nikki A.S.H. or TR A.S.H. backstage. And they say that tonight they will be the heroes of their own story as they compete in a 6-woman tag. Becky then walks into frame and says that she doesn't care who's the hero or who are the villains in this match are. All she cares about is being declared the winner. Just like she was at SummerSlam when she beat Bianca in 26 seconds, she's going to pin her again, but this time at WrestleMania. Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan are talking backstage, and Liv is asked she asked what their strategy is going into this match. Ripley says brutality, and Morgan likes it. Bianca then walks up and says that she's not bothered about strategy because she's been waiting a long time to get her hands on Becky Lynch. Okay, so it's pretty much the exact same fucking segment. It's just the other way around.
Yeah, pretty much.
So tonight she wants to give Becky a glimpse as to what she is looking forward to at WrestleMania. Okay, so the exact same shit. We had a 6-woman tag. Becky, Doudrop, and Nikki TRASH versus Rhea, Liv, and Bianca Belair. Probably your just typical 6-woman tag. Nothing really too special here.
Except that freaking hair spot. Everything else.
Except for, obviously the hair would, but.
everything else was regular.
Morgan dives through the ropes onto Lynch, and Nikki dives at Rhea, but she gets caught. Belair and Lynch go back and forth until Bianca hits Becky with some massive shots and her ponytail, and and then Becky bails from the ring. Lynch then sees the welts across her stomach and retreats up the ramp. Nikki, who apparently was the legal participant in this match, she jumps back in, and Belair hits her with the KOD, and that's all she wrote. And Bianca, Rhea, and Liv Morgan pick up the win here as Bianca gets some momentum heading into WrestleMania. With it, I mean, we're 5 weeks away, so obviously things are obviously still going to build, but Bianca gets some momentum heading into this, and obviously she would not pin Becky because that just would not make sense. But but Nikki took the pinfall here. Just your regular out of the mill 6-woman tag.
Pretty much.
This is where I fucking turned off the show. I wasn't even really watching the show. I turned on the show and I hear the hair whoops. I was like, Jesus, did I turn on at the right time? My God, hair whips happening. But then as soon as that match ended, that's when I got sad again.
Oh.
Fucking Tommaso Ciampa versus Robert Roode with Dolph Ziggler. Tommaso Ciampa got his music changed, and I fucking hate it.
It's the final kill shot, man. When they change the
Dude,
music.
I heard people say on your live that this is only for Raw. But listen, this can't be only for Raw.
And even if it is, he's going to be called to Raw, so then it's going to be forever.
Exactly. So he'll be back on NXT, and he'll have No One Will Survive, because that's obviously just NXT. But he's been on Raw for the past 2 weeks in a row. He's called up to the main roster. He's called up. That's going to be his music.
Yeah.
Is it fucking generic as all hell? Yeah, because that's what everybody seems like now. Except for your guy on the profile.
Yeah, pretty much.
I feel like Edge really only had Edge and AJ Styles, I'll say. When you hear those two themes, you know it's Edge and AJ Styles.
Yeah.
You know. Everybody else kind of seems fucking generic. I mean, there's obviously people that still have their themes like Randy, Riddle, and many others. But I'm talking about authentic, genuine themes that when you hear them, you know that it's them.
Pretty much.
I had no idea who fucking this Tommaso Ciampa was. I really didn't. And he fucking won by roll-up.
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
It's kind of weird.
No, obviously he was facing Bobby Roode or Robert Roode. I'm calling him Bobby. It's the same fucking difference. Robert's just more proper. He was facing Bobby tonight because of obviously what's happening tomorrow on NXT when they have a tag match between the Dirty Dogs, Tommaso and Braun Breaker. It was a roll-up. He looked for the fairy tale ending, but Roode rolls him up for a 2 count. Ciampa then ducks Roode and knees Dolph off the apron and then rolls up Bobby for the win.
Just like that.
And that's it. Another thing, and I know this is a very small thing, but I talked about it, I believe I talked about it last week. Or at least one of these Raw episodes where Tommaso was appearing. Tommaso Ciampa and that dark beard of his. I hate it. Why'd they make him dye it?
Because I don't think he likes gray hair. Like, I think he only lets like Edge have like his gray hair still, I think. I'm pretty sure he's the only person that he allows to have gray hair. I know Vince having gray hair.
When I heard the report as to why they actually had Tommaso dye his beard, it just sounds ridiculous.
Yeah.
Tommaso Ciampa had to dye his beard because it made him look older. That's it.
Yeah.
The grizzled old look that Tommaso had is what made Ciampa Ciampa. Remember when Ciampa was I don't even know if you were watching NXT at that time, but to people that watched NXT at that time and the feud that he had with Johnny Gargano, the old look worked for him because all those matches that he had with Gargano took fucking years off their careers. It made it work. It gave him that grizzled look. Plus it made him that much more of a heel. He looked more of a heel in that role. And plus, every single time I remember the time waff, and you should totally go back just to see this like take place. Tommaso Ciampa at one point during his NXT run, when it was black and gold, he had no theme music.
I did see that. I did see that. That was very interesting. I never seen anyone do that before.
He had no theme music, and his theme music was just the boos of the audience as he was just walking down that entrance ramp.
I think that's absolutely amazing.
And that was fucking great. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
To me, having him dye the beard, it takes a part of Ciampa away from him. He's supposed to have that grizzled look. He's supposed to have that grizzled old look because he's been through so much during his tenure in NXT. And that may just be a small detail that I'm just saying, that I'm just like nitpicking over here, but that's just what made him him.
Yeah.
And Mo, why did they even boo him? Because when you're going up against a guy like Johnny Gargano, who's the heart and soul of that NXT brand back when it was black and gold, and especially if you've seen that rivalry throughout the entirety of it, and trust me, I would know, you were booing Tommaso Ciampa. Now I was cheering, and now I was cheering for both of them because I fucking love both characters. I love Johnny, and I love Tommaso. Like I just loved everything that Tommaso was doing. So I was kind of just cheering everything that was happening, but that's because I'm a mark. But still, everybody was booing Tommaso Ciampa at that time because of everything that was going on in that rivalry. It was just perfect. And now they dye his beard, they make him look younger by default. It just makes no sense to me. Now I don't even care that I called myself a mark there. Everybody's a mark for somebody at some point in their careers.
Yeah, pretty much.
I come on. Everybody's a mark for somebody. As soon as the match ended, Robert then attacks Ciampa. Ziggler then gets into the ring and Roode holds him down. Holds him for the super kick rather. Ziggler then gets on the microphone and says that Ciampa is lucky about tonight, but tomorrow he and the NXT champion Braun Breaker will find out why him and Roode are the dirtiest dogs in the game. When they were beating him down, I could have sworn I was thinking that Braun Breaker was going to come out.
I was expecting that, honestly. That would have been something.
I would honestly like that only because I would kind of want to see what the crowd would do as a reaction towards him.
Yeah.
Just to see, because you're going to obviously call him up at some point, so you might as well see what the reaction will be like now.
I think he would have got some cheers if they were just aware of him, like on NXT. They should have went for it.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens tomorrow night on NXT. That will most likely be the main event. Is that the only thing announced for NXT so far?
As far as I know, or unless like the second round of the Dusty, or that might be the week after.
Yeah. They'll obviously do some kind of like article for WWE.com to do a preview because that's kind of what I gotta do for a TikTok tomorrow. But I'll be watching that main event between those two because I do kind of want to see what happens between Tommaso and Braun Breaker. Even though Tommaso's not even really the number one contender, that's Dolph Ziggler now.
Yeah.
Dolph is number one contender, which is crazy to say, but yeah, he's the number one contender for the NXT title.
Yeah.
But we come back from commercial break, and it's Dana Brooke and Reggie taking on Tamina and Akira Tozawa. Apparently, from what I heard, was R-Truth the special guest referee in this?
No.
No, because apparently, from reports that I was reading, R-Truth was supposed to be the special guest referee in this.
That would have made it a little more. I don't know. I don't know. I guess.
R-Truth was supposed to be the special guest referee, but apparently that did not happen. Okay, you know what? Honestly, I don't know if that would have made it better or worse, but
yeah, that's something like
we got that.
The match itself was just stupid. So I don't know.
Yeah, see, okay, so good. Okay, so Tamina is sent to the outside of the ring by Dana, rather, sorry. And Reggie hits Tozawa with a leaping seating senton for the win. That front flip seated senton that he does. And Dana and Reggie win. Oh, R-Truth forgot. Oh, that's it. R-Truth forgot he was supposed to be the referee, so they had to send somebody out there. Gotcha. Yeah. I gotcha. You know, that's honestly probably that would not be illogical to even say that, because R-Truth is just R-Truth and he could just do what he wants. But regardless, whether that would have made it better or worse, I didn't watch that garbage because it's 24/7 title. Fuck that shit. After the match, Dana Brooke and Reggie pose together. Then Brooke kisses Reggie on and takes him down to the mat. Not to be outdone, Tamina then grabs Tozawa and kisses him too. Oh God, what the fuck is happening?
It got crazy.
She walks off and Tozawa looks faint, so Reggie and Dana try to cool him down. Wait, so Dana, why didn't you fucking try to take the title from Reggie?
Because she loves him now.
But if you take him down to the mat, no, okay. You're in prime position, girl. You have a referee right there already, but okay. Fucking ridiculous. This shit sucks. What?
I don't get it.
If anybody's really entertained by all of that, please let me know, because that's ridiculous. Street Profits say that in an interview they're going to try to save the tag team division because it's chaotic right now. Dawkins says that they don't care who wins the titles next week because they are ready to challenge the winners at WrestleMania. To be completely honest, that's probably going to be the match. Whoever wins this versus the Street Profits at WrestleMania, that's probably it.
Yeah.
Doesn't really seem all that WrestleMania worthy, considering how the Street Profits have been going up and down lately. No, but who else are they going to challenge? Who else is going to challenge for the tag titles when you have 3 tag teams in the division?
There's no one else there.
Nobody at all. We come back from commercial break, and Rhea and Dominik Mysterio, Booyaka Booyaka 619, Booyaka Booyaka, Rhea and Dominik Mysterio. They are in the ring, and they show a replay of what went down last week between them, The Miz and Logan Paul. Rhea then says that they're sick of The Miz and his antics, and they're going to shut him up once and for all at WrestleMania. The Miz then comes out and stands on the ramp. He runs down some of his and Logan's accolades and says that he and Logan are the 2 A-listers who joined forces. They might dominate. They might be dominating WWE for years to come. Oh, God. Oh God.
Yeah.
Miz says that he even heard some cheers last week, and he thinks that he's finally getting the respect that he deserves. The fans then boo, and Miz tells them all to shut up. Miz then says that the fans are sick of watching the same old crap every week. You better fucking believe it. Thank you. Finally, something I can actually agree with the Miz on. Nobody wants to see Rhea and Dominik as tag team champions again. We haven't had them as tag team champions in what? Like, months.
Yeah.
So I don't know where that was. But Miz says that him and Logan are new and exciting, and they are beyond the WWE universe because they are awesome. And then we had Rhea and Dominik versus Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander. They're still known as the Hurt Business for some god-earthly reason.
Yeah.
They're not the Hurt Business. They're not.
The freaking job business. That's what they all are.
See, thank you. They're the fucking Job Squad. They're the new edition of the Job Squad. I remember when that was a fucking tag team. I do. Don't. I remember when the Job Squad were a thing.
The Job Squad.
Dominik knocks Shelton out of the ring, and they hit a suicide dive, but Shelton catches him. Dominik counters Benjamin on the floor and gets him back inside the ring. Miz appears to grab the feet of Dominik, but gets kicked off. Rhea then chases Miz off, but Shelton rolls Dominik up for the win.
Yeah.
Oh, they won.
Yeah.
Blanca. Well, Miz's antics. Okay. But the Hurt Business, for some god unearthly reason, win that match against the Mysterios. Then we see, oh God, fucking Matt Riddle. He's backstage with a notepad and a pen, or what seems to be a goddamn marker.
Yeah.
He's writing stuff down on his notepad. Randy appears, and Riddle says that he's been foggy this past week, and he doesn't know if it's because he took a stop last week or because he put the high in Ohio. Okay. Yeah, okay. Orton says that Riddle seems perfectly fine as usual. Whatever fine is defined by Randy Orton, who knows? Riddle asks if Orton has any advice, and he says no, because they're going to do what they always do, and that is kick ass. Riddle says that they're going to do it with the three most devastating letters in sports entertainment: RKO. We didn't. I believe we actually got a look at what Riddle was writing on Notepad. He was doing those like. I heard that like. I heard that like we had like a little bit of a glimpse, and he was doing. You know those S's that you used to draw in school, where it's like the 6 lines, and you just like connect them in the way to make the S. Apparently, that's what he was writing down.
Okay.
Apparently, that's what he was doing. So he was doing those S's. I don't know why those 6-lined S's that you just connect the lines. He was doing those S's. I don't know why. Carmella and Zelina Vega are talking backstage. Great. Here we go. Vega says that they watched the first episode of Carmella's new reality show on YouTube and asked her why Graves talked so much about sex. Okay. Why? Carmella says that if they retain the tag team titles at WrestleMania, you'll see them do a lot more than just, oh my god.
See, yeah.
What the fuck?
Like I wanted to know that.
Yo, I actually heard a crazy ass story today
Oh
that
God.
Corey wants to reenact Edge and Lita.
Of course he does. Yo, of course he does. Ew.
He wants to reenact Edge and Lita in that celebration.
I don't want that. Please no. Don't do that to me. I don't want to see that on
Corey's fucking wild, dude.
Monday Night Raw. I said on Monday Night
I don't want to be on Friday Night SmackDown or Monday Night Raw, and I just see a bed in the ring, and I can't even fucking finish it. I can't.
It's a whole different kind of Monday Night Raw. I don't want
that. Yeah, please.
I don't want that. Wrong.
RK Bro took on the Street Profits. Probably just your normal RK Bro Street Profits match. Nothing too special here, but Orton looked for an RKO before it connects with an Enziguri, followed by a huge frog splash. The fucking frog splash, dude. I feel like he gets higher and he goes longer each and every single time, man. From the heavens. It's fantastic.
I got bad news from that too.
Oh no. Did he get hurt?
Montez didn't get hurt. Randy did.
What happened?
Well, when he first connected it, it looked like he hurt his shoulder real bad. But when they went to pin, Randy went to put his foot in the rope, but he was too far away. So the ref stopped for a minute, and then he had to count 3 because then it would just look weird. And when the ref went to talk to Randy, he I don't know what the ref said, but whatever he said, Randy shook his head no. So Riddle went over and checked on it. It looked like it was bad. It was pretty bad.
Oh God.
And Sean Wassap is live right now. He's talking about it. I don't know what he's saying, but something must have happened because he might be injured.
Okay. I have a video here on YouTube of it. The Botch guy, shout out to him. He reacted to it. So let's see. Oh God. Oh, sorry, Botch. I'll just watch it just in a muted sense. Okay. There it is. Okay.
Look pretty bad, man.
All right, so here, he's gonna play it soon. I don't think he actually shows the. Okay, so I do see where you're coming from. He was trying to reach his foot on the ropes.
Mm-hmm.
But Angelo was even trying to push it away. I don't know if that was part of the script or what, but he was too far, and the referee did stop. He stopped and he was trying to talk to Randy. I'll go back and watch that match in length, just to see what happened. But I'm really hoping that Randy's okay, because that does not look good if they were trying to do some kind of spot and something went wrong.
Yeah, did not look good at all.
And who knows, maybe that match between Randy and Riddle at WrestleMania is supposed to happen. If this injury is as bad as it makes it seems like you're saying it to be, we might not actually have that match at Mania. And that's a big loss for WrestleMania.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. Hope for the best.
Yeah. Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins are being interviewed backstage, and they are both very happy. Rollins says that next week they are going to win the tag titles. Then they can do champion versus champions at WrestleMania. And Owens says that that the only thing sweeter than defending the titles at WrestleMania is leaving Dallas as soon as it's over. They teased champion versus champions again for the tag titles.
I don't know what they're doing.
They're teasing it again.
I don't think they have any idea what they want to do.
They don't because I was trying to stitch a video today, okay, and this is why I came into your live about green screens not working for my audio, because I was trying to stitch a video. Somebody was at Nico Vibes. I don't know if you know him. He's a part of the wrestling TikTok community here. He was asking, like, what is everybody's expectations heading into this year's WrestleMania? And I made a mock night 1 and night 2 card for the WrestleManias this year. And I was saying for the Raw for the SmackDown Tag Team titles, because let's just face it, they don't know what they're doing with the Usos. I was saying the Usos versus Big E and Kofi versus Los Lotharios versus the Viking Raiders for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. And keep in mind, that's the entirety of the SmackDown Tag Team division in that one match. When I was trying to, I took a picture of it and put it as a screen, as the green screen. Every single time I try to talk over it and talk about the matches that I had on those nights, it would not record my audio. That's why I was having an issue. But if they're talking about these champion versus champion matches again, they must be thinking it. But if it happens, and it's just the exact same way this unification match is happening, while we're still going to have 2 championships, what's the fucking point? They got to be thinking of something else. Or you're right in the sense that they don't know what the fuck they're doing, so they're just trying to throw something and see if it sticks.
I'm going with that. I don't think they have any direction right now, at least.
They're just throwing pasta on the walls and seeing if it sticks to the wall.
Yeah.
Because they don't know. They don't know what they're doing.
Just trying stuff.
And by the way, in my notes for these night 1 and night 2s of WrestleMania, I didn't even have the Raw Tag Team titles on the line because I honestly did not even know what the fuck to even put. I'll send this card to you because honestly, it looks like it's going to be shaping up this way.
Pretty much. I'm sure you can make a good card better than they can. Shit.
Oh yeah, trust me. Well, I did it based on the way that they're actually trying to make it as right now. If I was in charge of actually making a WrestleMania, first of all, I would not have fired over 200 people.
Yeah.
And I would have made a better WrestleMania card with those 200 people still in the company. I'll just read them all right now because trust me, most of these matches are pretty much all but confirmed. Charlotte and Ronda, that's confirmed. Becky and Bianca, that's confirmed. Mysterios versus Miz and Logan Paul, confirmed. Sammy versus Johnny for the IC title, that's all but confirmed. We all know that. Then I had the Usos, technically New Day, Los Lotharios, and Viking Raiders for the tag titles. That's just me fantasy booking. I don't know what the fuck they're doing with the SmackDown tag team titles. Drew McIntyre versus Happy Corbin. We all know that's pretty much fuck confirmed. Drew McIntyre deserves better, but that's pretty much fuck confirmed. And then if the Battle Royals even happen, the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. And that's if they even do it. But if they do it, be prepared for Omos.
Oh, wow.
Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns, title unification match. That is confirmed, even if WWE is really trying to take it on home that Brock could lose the championship in Madison Square Garden this Saturday. And by the way, that is this Saturday.
What is going on with that? Someone send me like a card or something.
Right, like that is this Saturday, and we have nothing.
I think it's called Road to WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's called Road to WrestleMania. It's not even that Saturday morning, not morning slam, but Saturday main event that they're trying to bring back. Edge versus AJ Styles, that was obviously confirmed tonight. I was saying Damian Priest versus Finn Balor with Damian as the champion, but we all know that we all know what happened tonight. Could that match still happen? Yes, but it's just obviously going to be in reverse now with Finn Balor as the champion. Randy versus Riddle. I have that match happening at WrestleMania if that injury is not really happening. If that injury did not really, or is that serious as it seems. Pat McAfee versus Vince McMahon. That's happening. We just got to figure out what the fuck the story is about. Carmella and Zelina Vega versus, and this will kind of bleed into tomorrow's story, but Team Bad.
Yeah, that got confirmed yesterday. Oh, actually, no, not yesterday. Actually, like a few hours ago.
Yeah, so Sasha and Naomi. And apparently they're trying to get Tamina involved in this too, so that we can actually have full Team Bad back.
Tamina. I don't know about that.
I don't know if Tamina really can get totally involved in that, considering what the fuck she's doing with the 24/7 title, but I digress. And then that's if this match happens as well, the WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal. Who the fuck wins that? I don't know. Give it to fucking Rhea. Who cares? But that's pretty much what WrestleMania is shaping out to be looking like.
Yeah.
Good, bad, and different, I don't care. I am expecting the least out of my expectations for WrestleMania this year because of how everything's been booked. If they don't give a shit about WrestleMania, why should I give a shit about watching the show?
Yeah.
And I'm still gonna watch it, of course, because it's fucking WrestleMania, but that's the thing. That's the thing. They don't care about WrestleMania, but we're still gonna fucking watch it anyway.
That's the tricky part, sir.
That's it. But that's what WrestleMania is shaping up to be. My expectations all the way down. But Street Profits pick up the win here. They got it done. I kind of went backwards a little bit, but that's okay. Vince and Austin are backstage. And Vince says that he's going on the Pat McAfee show this week. Theory talks about how great Pat is and says that it's been 20 years since Vince did a sit-down interview. And the last time he slapped the papers out of an interviewer's hands. Theory then asked what happens if he does the same thing this week and Pat jumps him. Pat jumps him? What the fuck? The hell is Austin talking about? Pat's just gonna jump Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
Theory then says that he could be there to help out. McMahon then says that that's not the kind of show, and walks off. Theory then smiles and says, but it could be. Now, I don't know what the fuck this is going to entail. But it is going to be in studio. They are going to be in the same fucking room, so whatever happens, happens. We all know that interview that honestly Austin is talking about, and if you don't, you really can't find it anywhere because it's not on YouTube. It's not really anywhere. They kind of wanted to take that interview out of fucking existence. It's about that guy, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. Well, you know who that guy is, right?
Yep.
So, it was about that guy and how all that kind of happened. The interviewer was just trying to get to the bottom of things and how things were going down, and Vince just did not take his bullshit. And that's why he slapped the papers out of his hands, and that's why he kind of just stormed off in that sense, because honestly, that interviewer had no right to even talk about that. So, so that was the interview that they were that Austin was referring to, but I highly doubt it's going to be anything like that.
I can't believe they referenced that.
Yeah, but I highly doubt it's going to be anything like that. They're going to obviously build towards the match between Pat and Vince, but trust me, it's not going to go anywhere near that type of a. No, I don't know. Vince could just snap at any moment, so something could happen, but it's not going to be about that guy. So trust me. Then we had the United States Championship match. Damian Priest and Finn Balor. This match is fucking great. Even if, by the looks of it on paper, like in these notes here, it doesn't seem like that long of a match. But from what I heard, this match was great.
It was very well done. Very, very well done.
So, Priest hits a clothesline and then attempts a south of heaven, but Balor then rolls him up for a near fall. Priest then lands a few strikes and kicks him in the head. Then south of heaven for another near fall. Sorry. Priest then lifts Balor for the reckoning, but Balor then counters into an elbow slam. Balor then hits a shotgun drop kick and heads up to the top. Then actually hits the coup de grace and covers for the 1, 2, 3. Finn Balor is your new United States champion, and I could not be more happy about it.
Thank you, Lord.
Now, did this fucking championship win come out of fucking nowhere? Yes, because they were not using Finn Balor for the life of him until last week when he teamed up. Last week, I believe that was when he teamed up with Tommaso, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then he obviously came out to Damian Priest to accept the challenge from a world champion-like competitor. This fucking win came out of nowhere for him, but regardless, I couldn't be more happy for Finn. He deserves to be in something like this.
Yes.
He's always been this type of caliber guy. And the fact that Vince legitimately had no plan for him, or really any like of anything to even use him in this type of nature is fucking blasphemy.
Yeah. I'm happy they're finally getting it together because God.
Yeah. Somebody asked me on TikTok, and hope this video went out to everybody, but people were asking me on TikTok, how did I feel about Finn Balor getting used in this type of way for a run with the United States Championship? I'm like, fucking finally, because we all know that the man is talented. We all know that the man is probably one of the best wrestlers on that fucking roster. And like I said before, Vince, seeing that Vince just had no fucking plans for him is ridiculous. So I'm glad that he's the United States champion. We'll see what happens heading into WrestleMania.
Damian freaking snapped on him at the end, and he took a stiff bump.
He did. Threw him over the announce table and fucking everything. But which only tells me that this match is most likely happening at WrestleMania again.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. Hopefully Finn retains at WrestleMania, because that would be WWE. That would be WWE to give him this match on Raw, have him win the championship, and then lose it at WrestleMania. That would just exactly be like WWE.
That freaking, oh my gosh. That would suck. That would absolutely suck, man.
I mean, you see where I'm coming from, though, right? I mean, that's
Oh yeah,
exactly
no.
what a WWE
Yes,
would do.
yes, you are 100%.
Like, I mean, that's exactly what a WWE would do. But we come back from commercial break and we see the WWE Hall of Famer, the Rated R superstar Edge, come to the ring, and Edge says that this is it. The moment that he has been waiting for. The moment that we have been waiting for as well. Someone to step up and challenge him for a match at WrestleMania. My hair is crazy. His road becomes a lot clearer tonight as he is ready for someone to step up. Edge then waits impatiently and says pretty much, all right, what the hell has happened to this roster? And his challenge is eventually answered by the phenomenal A.J. Styles. Fucking finally.
Finally.
AJ wanted it. Edge wanted it. We fucking got it tonight. Thank you so much.
Finally, man.
AJ comes to the ring to a big reaction, and Edge is grinning from ear to ear. Styles says, I accept. Edge then says that he is happy because he's been wanting this match for a long time, and so has AJ and the fans as well. Edge says that he wants the bulldog AJ Styles. He doesn't want a guy who's been playing tag team bitch with Omos this past year. Great line. Because honestly, that's just fucking facts.
Yeah.
That's facts, and that's not even AJ's fault that he was playing tag team bitch. That's Vince and just how they were trying to, give Omos somebody to learn from, but Edge had the fucking line of the night. So that was great. Edge looks for a handshake, and Styles isn't sure. So Edge attacks him with a low blow. I was in your live at that time when he actually hit him with a low blow. And I was typing in the chat, did Edge seemingly turn heel? You didn't see it because you were just freaking out too much because Edge is a heel now and it's just great. But I'm like, did Edge seemingly turn heel? And then everybody was answering me in the comments saying, yes, Phil, he's pretty much back as a heel now, which is great. I think that's great. I love Edge as heel. I love Edge as both a babyface and a heel, but I think Edge is way more fit for a heel role.
Yeah.
So I think that was great. Edge beats AJ into the corner, but Styles then starts firing back and hits it into Geary. Styles then goes to the apron for a phenomenal forearm, but Edge ducks it and then kicks him. Oh, this is where he kicked him in the nuts. Okay, sorry. So he was attacking him before that. Edge then looks like he's just lost it at this point. He was like you know how Edge gets. He fucking looks like he's possessed.
Yeah.
By demons.
Yeah.
So he's possessed. Some fans are starting to turn pretty much boo him in that sense. But others are chanting his name. So it's kind of a mixed reaction. Like people are thinking that this is a heel turn, but people are just really happy that this is happening. So everybody's just cheering. I, for one, was just cheering because I love this. So yeah, people were chanting his name. Edge then slowly gets on top of AJ Styles, pause, and lands a series of forearms. And now boos are coming in. So okay, so now people are figuring out this is a full-fledged heel turn for the Rated R superstar. Edge starts to leave, but then stops, and he looks over to AJ. He has some inner turmoil in him. because he's been wanting this match for so long, and so is AJ. So kind of has that story going on within his head. He goes to the outside of the ring and walks around to grab 2 steel chairs. And we all know what happens when somebody has 2 steel chairs. Especially when it's Edge or Christian or anybody of that nature when it came to those amazing TLC matches. Edge then brings the chairs into the ring. He sets AJ's head on one of them, and then slowly lifts the other. We all know where this is going.
Yeah.
Edge sets the chair back down and leans on the ropes. He's looking conflicted. Suddenly, he grabs a chair and he hits AJ with a concerto in very fast fashion. He's just going. He's just going for it. He doesn't care what the repercussions are. He doesn't care what the fans are thinking. He just does it. Edge stares at AJ and is limps corpse. Then he looks over at AJ. He looks over at the chair again. He picks the chair up and he does it quickly again. He does it again. A second concerto to AJ Styles. Edge looks at the WrestleMania sign and smiles maniacally as the show fades to black and goes off the air. And this line by Jimmy Smith was fucking perfect. Edge didn't bring out WrestleMania didn't bring out the best of Edge. It brought out the worst. That was great.
Yeah.
I don't know where the fuck Jimmy Smith got that from, but oh my god, that was great.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what happened. Edge has been wanting an open challenge for the last week. He issued his open challenge. He said that you can't have WrestleMania be stupendous without me. As much as I need WrestleMania, WrestleMania needs me. And then tonight, he finally gets his match with AJ Styles, but it took him 1 week to get him out here. Edge was fed up. Edge wanted that challenge then, last week. But he had to wait a week, and he was fed up about it. He was even fed up about about the music not hitting right away this week. He's like, what's happened to this roster? He was fed up. So he took his anger on AJ Styles out tonight with 2 concertos. And now we'll have 4 weeks of build for this. But they'll find a way to make this work, especially with the 2 concertos tonight. I thought this was fucking perfect.
I love it. I love it. I loved every single moment of this. This was perfect. This would actually made the show so much freaking better.
Yeah.
It made the show so much better.
And yes, Saul, we would like to report a crime as well. The man the man may AJ rest easy. Please. We'll find a way to get AJ next week on Raw. But man, this was done perfectly. Edge was fed up. He wanted that challenge last week. But he had to wait an entire week to get it because simply nobody wanted to stand up. And now that AJ did, he's going to suffer the consequences. Now, who wins this? I don't know. I don't.
I will put AJ over, honestly.
You'd put AJ over?
Quickly, yeah.
Quickly?
Not the match quickly, but just
I'll make just like a quick thinking, like quick decision kind of thing. I can see that. I can, especially with the way they kind of started this whole thing. I'm not going to care though. If Edge wins, it's going to be great. If AJ wins, it's going to be great.
Yeah.
That this is one match at WrestleMania where whoever wins, I'll be fine with. But man, that was a great ending segment. Great ending segment for sure. But yeah, Corbin says that he wanted Edge to hit AJ with the chair and some more. Well, he did. He did tonight. He did 2 concertos to the man. So he
great.
definitely got hit with the chairs. Huh?
If he just kept going with it, oh my God, that would have made it even better.
Dude, I love concerto spots. They're just magnificent every time. But yeah, guys, the show faded to black as Edge was just staring at the WrestleMania sign maniacally. And yeah, that was your Monday Night Raw. Didn't I seem like a good Monday Night Raw for like the first 2.5 hours of the show? But the last half hour, 45 minutes, seemed pretty okay.
Finally picked up.
It seemed like WrestleMania Raw for those 45 minutes. Or at least WrestleMania season for that Raw. WrestleMania Raw. That would be something WWE would do. They're already doing WrestleMania Backlash, so that makes sense.
WrestleMania Raw. I like that.
But yeah, guys, that's your Monday Night Raw review. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys have anything else you'd like to talk about just real quick before we get out of here, please type it in the chat. We'll talk about it. Yeah, you have any thoughts on anything else on the show, what you want us to talk about on that's Raw, that's either Raw related or just WWE related heading into the road to WrestleMania? We'll talk about it for a little bit before we get out of here. So yeah, just type away, get us your questions, and we'll talk about it real quick.
Phil, I'm about to buy 2K.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. You're about to do it right now? Live on stream?
Yes.
Live on stream. Loft 2K22 coming soon.
Buying this possibly terrible game. I'm not sure.
We're about a week away, brother. We're about a week away.
I'm really scared, man. I haven't been this scared for a game release in like a long time.
I was scared for 2K20. I'm pretty sure everybody was scared for 2K20, and we all have fucking reasons for it. So.
Oh yeah, that freaking bull crap.
But yeah, it doesn't actually look like anybody has questions for us to end the show tonight. But guys, I want to thank you guys so much for coming to us live here on Outside the Brand for Outside the Brand episode number, I believe it's 145, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, 145. Just pretty damn good. We're 55 episodes away from OTB 200. It's gonna be great. That's insane, honestly, now that I think about it. But yeah, it's gonna be great. We need 3 more likes, guys. 3 more likes for that 10 like goal. What are you doing? What are you doing? I said 10 likes minimum for the show tonight. Minimum. And we're at 7. So let's try to get those 3 likes before we get on out of here. Loft, you just bought 2K22. How do you feel?
Like I just got robbed, but we're going to find out. So
you get the DELUXE.
Damn right.
That's right.
Don't buy the
3 days early. 3 days early.
I'm fucking scared, man. I'm preparing y'all now. The first 3 days we're going to be playing the beta version. We're going to get the day one patch. That's what 2K does with all of their basketball games. So we're going to get a 2K. We're going to get a day one patch, and it's going to be completely different. But yeah, it's going to be. This is if you're buying it, or just be prepared for some bullshit. Just be prepared.
We're going to be streaming it though. We're going to be streaming it live on our Twitches.
Yeah.
Listen, now I'll have the game on Tuesday. I'll look at it. I'll probably do it. I'll probably do my first match because I don't want to go on stream and fucking look stupid. So I'll probably do my first match when I wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
And I'll probably just look through the menus and everything like that just to see. And then on stream, we'll actually, go through everything. But yeah, I mean, on Tuesday, I'll do my first match, see how things go, and then I'll have to go to work at around. I have to leave at 1:30 to go to work. Sadly, work from 2 to 6, and then probably around 7 o'clock I'll be on Twitch streaming that. So, because I'll be home at 6:30, and then I'll have to set up the stream, which will probably take the half hour to get to 7, and then we'll figure that out. But from 7 on, I don't know how long I'm going to be doing the stream, but I'm going to be streaming 2K for as long as I can.
Facts.
Is that pretty much what you're going to be doing too? I mean, you're probably going to have the entire day, honestly. Right?
I'm gonna attempt to do a freaking 24-hour that day too.
Oh, that's cool. I'm legitimately charging my portable charger right here.
Oh God.
So I'm legitimately, if you're gonna be live pretty much all day, I'm gonna have a cord. I'm gonna have my phone. I'm gonna plug that sucker into this portable charger, and I'm probably gonna watch the stream.
I'm gonna be there just crying probably because I just did something terrible, but we're gonna find out.
So we'll see what happens. I mean, I kind of want to see what your reactions are for all of this. So I'll be watching your stream, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, the DELUXE happening on the 8th. Oh gosh. Where am I? Okay, we're good. I minimized the entire window of StreamYard. But yeah, we are a week away from 2K22. We get it on the 8th. Everybody else gets it on the 11th if they did not get the DELUXE.
Mm-hmm.
It's happening. It's happening now, boys. Just get 5 retweet notifications from Wild Nothingness.
What?
Holy shit, Becky.
Yeah.
Damn, Bianca.
This looks terrible.
And the thing is, at least with Sasha, it was just one whip and it was done. Fucking Bianca went all in on Becky's ass.
I wanted to hit her in the face. One good time. Blah! That's, oh my God.
She even got her arm.
Oh man.
She even got her arm, dude. My God. Okay.
A few good ones in.
Man. Oh God. Akira Tozawa has a new profile picture. What is it? It's not even allowing me to see it. Oh. Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, it's just Tamina. Tamina.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, man, it was a crazy Raw. 2K22. We'll see you soon in about a week. Gotta get through this entire week.
Yeah.
And I work Saturday too, which sucks, but we'll see. Thank you guys so much for joining us right here on Outside the Brand, episode 145 for your Monday Night Raw 2022 review. I was your host, Phil. That was your boy, Law. We'll talk to you guys very soon. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. And we'll talk to you guys tomorrow. See you guys soon. Peace. We the ones.